Hey guys, my name is Conrad and welcome back to the channel. This episode, we got some of the fittings and stuff that we needed to do all the hydraulics and the brakes in on this. So we got, these are our hydro fittings for power steering, and then we have our brake lines. So before we get to any of that, first thing I want to tackle is I want to actually get the brake pedal off there, see how it's going to fit up and what we need to do to attach the push rod to it. So what I believe is going to happen is I just need to take it off, see where the hole falls from the push rod, get a steel rod that's the same diameter as the hole in the push rod, weld it in place, and then put a pin through the end of it so it can't slide off. And I think that's going to take care of us for the brakes, for the brake pedal that is. And we'll go from there. So we're going to pull the pedal off there after I mark the hole, and see what it looks like. Alright, so I'm going to take you guys down on an adventure.
I'm going on an adventure!
We're going to go into the footwell down here and show you guys what I'm looking at. So right now you guys can see this is our brake pedal right here. So when the spring's got it pulled up all the way, it sits up here. Right now you can see that's our hole for our push rod. Just a little bit past that. So what we're going to do is we're going to weld on a little triangle, put a new hole in it for the push rod. Alright, so I went ahead and marked it up. This right here is where we align for the push rod. This lower hole, that's our original push rod height. So that was for our power vacuum booster. This one up here was for manual brakes, just for additional leverage. So what we're gonna do is go from here, make a little triangle, come out just past this guy, come down and back. That way that tab we can drill a new hole into, and that's gonna be our push rod mat for our hydro boost. Fit this up, see how it fits. If it's good, we'll take it across and call it a day.
Moments later.
All right, now that we got this piece welded on, we got it bored out. We need a stud that is 5/8 in diameter. This guy is 5/8. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna crop off the end, and then we're gonna bore it out, put it in here, weld it in place. We're gonna put a little hole in here for a retaining clip, and then what we're gonna do is, as we put this on, it's gonna slide into the eyelet for the Hydro Boost plunger, and then it's gonna have a washer, and then the hole for the retaining pin. So I went ahead, welded that piece in, give it some time to cool off. But here it is, and this is going to be our push rod for actuating our brake master. I'm gonna grind this into a taper around here, and then we got to drill a hole. Let's see if I still got a mark on here or not. It's not gonna matter too much. It's like right about here. We got to drill a hole all the way through it. So this all fits great now. It's gonna work just fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and hit it with some black, and that way it's got a nice fresh coat of paint on it. All right, so it's all painted up. Let's go ahead and toss it in there.
And that will keep that from backing off. Now the last thing we need is, it seems like the return spring is good on the master cylinder. I don't know if we need to put the regular one back on here. That's a really strong spring in there. I don't think we're gonna put the old retention spring back in here. All right. So that's good. Another project down. Another step closer to this being back on the road. And this right here is a brake light switch right here. We'll adjust it if we need to.
Oh, that's a pain to get down in there upside down like that, especially with the front end lifted up. So we got that done. That took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. Next, let's go ahead and get our brake lines started. And this is just going to be getting the new braided hoses from the caliper up to a firewall right here, and then we're going to run new brake lines. So let's go ahead and get started with that. And first thing we're going to do, we're going to have to install these new mounting brackets, which are these guys right here. We could use the old ones, but I don't like the position of this. We're going to mount them back up here. Let me pick the right one. Mount it back up here, and use riv nuts right in here. I'm just gonna pop one through, put this in here, and then put our brake line on. We have our fitting on the side of our caliper, and for that guy we have one of these. So we're gonna take, it's an 1/8 MBT, We're gonna wrap it in some PTFE and then just gonna screw it in so it's pointing down like this. Now we need to get our hose on from here to that other fitting. Right now what we have is this is at full extension and it is just perfect. It's not too long, but then when we bring it back in, it's not going to be in the way of our wheel, so it's not going to get any chafing or rubbing. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side.
More moments later.
So the one time I don't have the camera on, things happen. And what I mean by things happen is I was tightening down this guy right here, and that happened. This is why you don't buy tools from Harbor Freight. This is their Pittsburgh garbage wrench. So, yep, there it is. It did its job once, and then it breaks. Anyways, back to the grind. All right, and as you can see, all the way down and up. That one's done too. So let's move on. So I have another set of fittings, and I'm not sure which set they go to. This is either up here on the Hydro Boost or down here on the power steering. So I'm gonna pull it open and see where exactly does this fit. Alright, so as the parts keep coming in, we'll keep on working. Still waiting on these guys. They're on order somewhere. I don't know. The company hasn't sent me the shipping information. But I needed the new seals for this, and apparently new seals from Ford are 30 bucks. The entire unit, brake master cylinder and reservoir and everything, is 55 bucks. So 30 bucks, just the seals, 55 bucks, all brand new. Obvious choice, get everything brand new. Alright, so what we need to order from the power steering pump to the Hydro Boost, a 28-inch line, from the Hydro Boost to the power steering rack, a 25-inch line. And everything else is low pressure returns, so we will make those ourselves. So we just gotta order these two right here. Alright, so we got some more stuff in today, and we're gonna keep working on the brakes and the hydraulics. So for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and redo the front lines for the left and right brake and get it all hooked up on here. And then we'll figure out exactly what we need to do to actually connect the rear one as well. I'm pretty sure it's just disconnecting it back here, pulling the line out, making a new line, and putting it back where we get it fitting onto the brake master. Rear one is for the rear, front one's for the front. Bigger plunger without the rod going through it. That's where you get your added volume for front brakes. So that's what we'll do. So tomorrow we also get our hydraulic lines and we'll tackle those as well. Any brake line, hydraulic line, anything like the sort, you want to make sure that you have at least 2 bends. That allows the material to expand and contract as pressure runs through it. So we're going to take and put a bend in from here down, and we're going to put a second bend and zigzag it down on in here. So we have 3 bends total, but the minimum is 2. It's why in an oil pipeline you see the line running across the ground, or a water pipeline, you see it running along, and then all of a sudden you see it raise up, run over, and run back down. That allows the pipe to expand and contract throughout the day without cracking. So that's what we're gonna do right here. We're gonna go down, over, and down. We'll do the same thing on the other side, and then put our T in for both the front brakes. had to go and look things up and get some more fittings. So this is our proportioning valve, and I actually had to swap around. So this is our forward side, is this one, and there's a smaller plunger on the front here for the rear. So for the proportioning valve, we got our ins, and then we have our outs. So I gotta figure out if I want to put this like right here, or if I want to mount it up somewhere up on the side over here. Feed lines coming up, and then we have a pair of lines runs all the way across, and then new line running down to our brakes. All right, guys, thanks for watching. That'll be it for the brakes. See you next episode.